What is it like being a father? What is it like being a father? I get asked this a lot, right? Especially from my younger friends or my friends my age. I'm young, right? 23 is young. Yeah, yeah, I'm young. But I get asked that a lot from people my age. I get asked that a lot, and you know, typically when I answer this question is more of like a surface level, oh, it's awesome, type of thing, and obviously that doesn't do the justice of what it's actually like being a father. Like, it's really something that you can't explain, but I'll do my best. It is one of the greatest responsibilities that I have ever experienced. Behind being a husband, that is top tier. That is, being a husband is top tier. All right, but being a dad is very rewarding, right? My daughter, she brings so much hope, to me. She brings so much joy into my life. When I became a father, the first time I saw my daughter and she took her first breath, my first thought was, wow, like, this is crazy, for multiple reasons. Number one was, it's crazy how God can just bless you with such a beautiful thing, right? The gift of life. And I was just in awe, like, I was in shock, like, whoa, like, of course, leading up to, when Adela was pregnant, all I could do was just imagine what I feel like. And when I saw her, when she first came out, I was just like, what? This is real? I mean, that first pregnancy, right? It's kind of like how do I explain? I was trying to explain this to my wife, but it's kind of like, is she really pregnant? Is there really a human in her? Like, it's one of those things where you see, the belly growing and you see the baby moving inside the belly, but it's one of those things where it's like, not saying I was suspicious of anything, but it was just, when she was born, I was just like, wow, this is real, right? This is real. And it was just such a blessing moment. But then this overwhelming feeling of fear just came crashing down on me, right? I start to just look at her like, wait a minute. This little human, this little person is depending on me to protect her. This little human is depending on me to show her how to do things in life, right? Showing her how to be a good person, showing her how to have a relationship with God, showing her these very important things, right? Me, I gotta do it. And fear just hit me. Anxiety just hit me. I'm like, oh crap, what did I just do? What did I just get myself into, right? And keep in mind, this all is happening within like 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden, peace hit me, right? Peace hit me. I started to think about, the God I serve and how graceful he is, how loving he is, how just awesome he is in general. And I started to think, like, wait a second. I have a formula, right? I serve a God who has shown me how to be a great father since I was born. And I started thinking about my dad, right? My dad, who grew up without a father, who grew up without a dad, and how he was able to turn his life around to become a great dad, right? And then I look at, all these other dads that I know in my life who are great role models, and I see all these examples around me, and I start to calm down, like, okay, I'm gonna be all right. And after that, then it came joy. That it went like a shocking feeling, then fear, then joy. And going back to what it's like being a father, it's such a great responsibility, because you start to realize that, okay, how I live my life, how I treat people, how I grow or not grow. Essentially, I am training my daughter up, to go into the world, right? I'm training my kids to go. I'm talking about the future because I'm gonna have more kids, but I'm training my kids to go out into the world. What kind of person am I, raising up to go out into the world? And that's such a great responsibility. And I think every parent, right, moms and dads, feel this. And whether you understand the responsibility, it's still there, right? It doesn't matter. And I start to just realize, like, I can't be this same person that I am today, right? Going back to when she was born, I can't be the same person. And you start to do things more unselfishly, right? Yeah, I really had to adjust who I was and how I lived my life when I got married, but a kid is on a whole nother level. Like, you really have to be unselfish. You're no longer doing things just for you anymore. Like, that is out the window. Yes, you can, go out and do yourself or treat yourself and do things for yourself, but everything you do affects your child. And that was one of the biggest things to me. Like, wow, like, this is crazy. But through that responsibility, I realized that I had a choice to make. I was either going to be a great father, like the God I serve, like my dad, like the other dads that I look up to, or I was just going to be the same old Jayvious. And I'm still going through this, but my child being born is forcing me to change for the better, right? Just because that's in my heart to do good, but she's changing me for the better. And that's why I say, when I say it's rewarding, that's why I say it's rewarding, because it kind of just like gives you that little kick, like, boom, start moving, right? Start doing things. Because I don't just want to tell my kids how to live. I want them to see me do it, right? That way, they'll respect what I'm telling them, and they'll see the results in what I'm telling them. They're not just gonna be like, oh, I just got to do that. No, I'm telling you to do this because there's results, right? And here are the results. And I think that's one of the most powerful things you can have as a parent. That's one of the most powerful things that my parents had as parents, was that they didn't just tell us stuff, they showed us it, right? They showed us what happens when you do this, what happens when you do that. And words can only go so far when it comes to parenting. And I just went off on a whole tangent, but words can only go so far as a parent, especially when they become teenagers, because they start to think for themselves, and then they're looking at, okay, how did you live your life, right? Oh, you telling me to take out the garbage? There's no consequences for that. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. You didn't do it. I'm not gonna do it either. I think it really does help. Babies who grow up to be kids, grow up to be teenagers, grow up to be young adults. It helps them make that choice of who they're going to be and make the right choices in life, because they see the results of it. I know I just went on a whole tangent, but I think that's a good thing for this podcast, is to have an outline, but to be able to just go places, right? Go places. I'm pretty sure that's a slogan for some company. But anyway, back to what it's like being a father. It's so awesome. You wanna be